Bitcoin has officially printed a new 2023 high, now up just under 100% since the start of the year and up about 10% in the past 24 hours. And the reason is because we did get official confirmation of a BlackRock spot ETF ticker under IBTC, which is their iShares Bitcoin Trust, which has been listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, which clears NASDAQ trades. Effectively, this is a major part of the process in officially bringing a Bitcoin spot ETF to the public markets. Now, as Bitcoin has been moving up, it also has been bringing the altcoin market with it, and one altcoin we have been covering a lot on the channel recently is Chainlink, up over 39% in the past 7 days. And in this video, we're going to break down why I believe Chainlink has seen such an explosive move and 3 reasons why the widespread adoption of Chainlink and the Link token could continue. We are also going to provide updates on Quant as they continue their partnership with the Bank for International Settlements, the Bank of England, the Bank of Canada, MasterCard, Amazon, Barclays, and more. You can expect to hear about all of this and more in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show. And before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor and I do not offer financial advice on YouTube. I am simply here for your crypto entertainment purposes. And if I am successful in entertaining you, please consider hitting that sub and like button, as it does show me you enjoy the content and I do appreciate it very much. So we're going to take a look here at a heat map for crypto, and it has definitely been a nice day for the markets. Bitcoin up over 10%, Ether up over 6%. We have BNB up over 4.97%. And in the past 7 days, we've seen some very big moves from some altcoins that are definitely fan favorites out there, like Link up over 40%. We have Solana up over 32%, now sitting at $32, which effectively means it's up, over 200% from that yearly low at about the $10 range. And Bitcoin definitely has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. If we actually take a look at Bitcoin dominance, which basically shows how much Bitcoin actually makes up of the total crypto market cap, you can see here that Bitcoin dominance has been on a very impressive rally. If I change the bar here into percent, Bitcoin dominance is up about 26% in the year, effectively meaning that Bitcoin has been outperforming majority of the altcoin market by this amount. And this is very typical for the accumulation years and the pre-halving years, as people do tend to focus on Bitcoin as we do lead into that 2024 halving. And there are some other very interesting catalysts here for Bitcoin that I do think we need to be mindful of, that I personally am keeping my eye on. Based on some of the news we got today, it is actually looking more and more likely that a spot ETF will be approved before the Bitcoin halving, which I do think definitely will put a lot of attention on Bitcoin, and then the halving will come. And if you watched any of my videos, you know that my thesis on the channel for a while has been to simply wait for that 2024 halving, and everything else in the meantime is just noise. And it does look like this the spot ETF may be coming sooner than we actually think. So the first piece of news here was that Grayscale got a court order in their fight with the SEC on a Bitcoin ETF. So for those of you that don't know, the SEC basically rejected Grayscale's application to make the Bitcoin their Bitcoin trust into a spot ETF. And now a federal appeals court formalized a victory for Grayscale in its bid to create this exchange-traded fund based on Bitcoin over the objection that came from the SEC. So this move sends the matter back to the SEC, basically putting into effect the court's ruling in August when it overturned the SEC's rejection of Grayscale's proposal. Effectively, what they are basically having the SEC do here is now go ahead and basically they're being court ordered to once again review the application. We can see here that the judge actually said that the SEC's decision was arbitrary and capricious because the regulator failed to explain why it approved a futures product but not a spot ETF. And the SEC argued that an ETF based on Bitcoin lacked adequate oversight to detect fraud. Meanwhile, there are already multiple Bitcoin futures ETFs trading on the market, and even a 2x leverage Bitcoin ETF. So it doesn't really make sense that the SEC is arguing that a Bitcoin spot ETF is too risky, while they are basically approving like 2x leveraged Bitcoin ETFs. And I think that when they did that, they really sealed the deal on making a spot ETF a lot more likely. Now, we also know that BlackRock is in the runs for a Bitcoin spot ETF. All these money managers are fighting to get the first spot approval because of the inflows they could get. And then obviously they take a management, basically a management fee for handling this ETF. And that, we're talking about billions of dollars of inflows, and even 0.5% of $50 billion, let's say, into a Bitcoin spot ETF. All of these big asset managers want to get their hands on this. That just shows you the power of Bitcoin, that some of the biggest money managers in the world, like BlackRock, like Fidelity, now we have also Grayscale looking to convert, we have Cathie Woods looking, we have Vanguard, Van Eck. All these different money managers are looking for that Bitcoin spot ETF approval. And BlackRock does actually have their own series of iShares ETFs. And what was very interesting here is that the iShares Bitcoin Trust has been listed on the DTCC. So the DTCC is a depository trust and clearing corporation, which essentially clears NASDAQ trades. And the ticker will be IBTC. Again, all a part of the process of bringing an ETF to the markets. IBTC is a ticker considering the options, but it fits BlackRock's brand, as they do have, a lot of different iShares here. And basically saying this is the first spot ETF listed on DTCC. None of the others are on there as of yet. Definitely notable that BlackRock is leading charge on these logistics that tend to happen just prior to launch. Hard not to view this as them getting signal that approval is certain/imminent. And honestly, whether or not we saw this happen, I really did think that a Bitcoin spot ETF that, it was only a matter of time. But in the meantime, people were kind of, not paying attention as much. Bitcoin was in the sideways range. It had a pretty ugly September, but we've been talking a lot about the concept of Uptober, which effectively is that Bitcoin does actually tend to have a pretty good performance in October historically. And we can actually show you guys that here, because Uptober has once again been a thing for Bitcoin here, right? So let's take a look at, so here's Bitcoin quarterly, monthly, and weekly price performance. Let's do monthly performance. And we can see here, right, that October historically, actually, I don't like this chart as much. Let me get this one. Yeah, monthly returns. You can see here, right, like October, generally speaking, is a very bullish month for Bitcoin. And so far, that has also been the case for this Uptober, as we have seen so far. Now, as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, Bitcoin going up has definitely been good for the rest of the crypto market. And while it has actually outperformed majority of the alts, a couple of alts here have definitely really started to take off. And one of those altcoins is Link. So Link, we've spoken about this on the channel quite a bit as of recently. And the big reason here is that we had this insane base of over 530 days where the Link was just trading in this range. And we basically said, the longer the base, the more you rip face, effectively meaning that once Chainlink did get out of this base, that there probably would be a pretty explosive move coming for this altcoin. And that definitely has been the case. As we said, this project is now up over 40% in the past 7 days. And I do think, obviously the technicals had something to do with that, just the fact that it was trading sideways for so long in this range. But I do also believe there are fundamental reasons Chainlink has, in fact, rallied this much. And the first one here that I do want to talk about is the launch of the CCIP, the cross-chain interoperability protocol that came earlier this year. Effectively, this is a interoperability protocol that allows you to build cross-chain applications, meaning you can build decentralized apps that are built, and actually tailored towards multiple blockchains. You can connect public and private blockchains, and you can transfer tokens between these blockchains. Effectively meaning that a DEX could launch on Avalanche, but also be optimized for Arbitrum, Matic, Optimism, and Ethereum using CCIP. or you could actually transfer your stable coins like your USDC from Ethereum over to Matic, then from Matic over to AVAX. All of this is done through the CCIP, and this is good for the Link token as well, because the Link token is actually the gas fee for the cross-chain interoperability protocol. So we actually see here that Swift unlocked the potential of tokenization with successful blockchain experiments, and I think this is one of the bigger reasons that Link has seen such an impressive move, is not only because of their expansion in the DeFi space, but also their expansion in the TradFi space, the traditional finance sector, where we have banking giants. We have Swift here, first of all, which handles basically all of these cross-border transactions between banks. They partnered up with Chainlink as well as with a dozen other banks here, including the Australia and New Zealand Banking Group, BNP Paribas, BNY Mellon, Citigroup, Lloyds Banking Group. And basically what they looked to do was actually connect the Swift network to the Ethereum Sepolia network, while Chainlink's CCIP enabled complete interoperability between the source and destination blockchains. And once again, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation was also involved. So it says there that Chainlink was used as an enterprise abstraction layer to securely connect Swift to Ethereum, basically showing that it is possible to have these tokens transferred between the Swift network and the Ethereum network. That is massive, as it basically proves that these banks will be able to connect private and public blockchains. And this is, in fact, all powered by the CCIP, and the Link token does power the CCIP as the gas fee, so actual meaningful utility for the Link token itself. Aside from Link, one other altcoin that we have been talking about quite a bit on the channel here is Quant. Now, this channel is mainly focused on the blue chips like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also on the altcoins that are working with financial institutions. I believe that is where a lot of the money is going to flow into the next bull run. That the next bull run will really be highlighted by institutional adoption of cryptocurrency, of blockchain technology, and therefore I am looking for the projects with the biggest connections to these institutions. And just like Chainlink, that is why I do keep a very close eye on Quant. You can see here that it was confirmed back in June that Quant worked with the Bank for International Settlements, the Bank of England, on a project designing and implementing a CBDC API and platform, and testing use cases for CBDCs with participants. So this project also involved participants like the Bank of Canada, Barclays, MasterCard, and Amazon, who built and tested new CBDC payment flows on the platform. That platform being the Quant Overledger. So just as Chainlink, the Link token, actually powers the cross-chain interoperability protocol, the Quant token is the utility token, the gas token for the Quant Overledger, which allows for tokenization of real-world assets, bridging of these assets onto different blockchains, as well as Quant Smart Audit and Quant Authorize. And all of the transactions done via the Quant Overledger are actually paid in the QNT token itself. Now, aside from the utility, one other reason that I am a fan of Quant, we talk about tokenomics a lot on the channel as well, as I do think that is very important. And Quant actually comes in here with a 14.8 million total supply, effectively meaning that it is about, it's got about a 30% less supply than Bitcoin actually has, plus the utility that comes from the Quant Overledger, and that's why I keep my eye on this project as well. So on that note, I hope you did enjoy the content in today's video. You know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, you are an absolute champion. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I'm wishing you all an amazing Tuesday, an amazing week ahead, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.